bottom line, he had infidelity. Then she got back at him by having infidelity. She got pregnant. They have a child. They kept the child. And the biological father is also in the relationship. And trust needs to be rebuilt. And surviving's not enough. They choose thriving. They choose that this Hello, beautiful people. Allana Pratt here. Intimacy expert, not marriage expert. I have been divorced twice, so I certainly have learned what doesn't work, which is a step in the right direction of what does work. And the main thing in common with both of those divorces is that I did not have a solid, intimate relationship with myself. I didn't even know how to integrate feelings. I was resistant to myself. And so how could I be present with another if I couldn't even be present with myself? How could I be brave and feel the feels on the inside with myself? How could I do that with another if I couldn't do that with myself? How could I truly unconditionally love another, love without condition another, when I didn't love that in myself? And so your question sort of falls along this line. Your question, Allana, tell me the do's and don'ts of surviving an affair. Well, first off, I would say I would change the word from survive to thrive. Who just wants to survive something? You know, we want to go beyond surviving back into thriving. Like, what if the very worst could bring out the very best in us? And so I'm thinking specifically of a couple that I have the honor and privilege of coaching right now, who've been a tremendous inspiration to our community, and who I actually had a group call with today with some other people, including them. And so bottom line, he had infidelity. Then she got back at him by having infidelity. She got pregnant. They have a child. They kept the child. And the biological father is also in the relationship. And trust needs to be rebuilt. And surviving's not enough. They choose thriving. They choose that this can bring out the best in each of them individually, in their marriage, and in their parenting. And so just today, a baby example of do's and don'ts. They're doing their best. They're all of us are doing our best. Okay. But something happened over the weekend where she was texting a lot. And he made it mean, he was concerned that she was texting him. She wasn't, but he never said anything. So a big don't would be to not ask for help and not get professional therapy or coaching or counseling like myself, etc. So a don't would be thinking it's just going to go away. You're just going to feel better. No, the issue needs to be addressed. The core reason that it happened needs to be addressed and healed and processed and integrated so that it doesn't happen again, so that you can grow and you could look back and say, oh my God, we're stronger than ever because of this. Okay. So that's what to do and don't around doing your work, leaning in, sitting in the fire, healing your heart, opening your heart, all of it. So back to the text. And so they're on the call. And he was like, I was feeling really, really anxious. And she's just sitting there quiet. And so I went through first how to get him reconnected to his presence so that he could communicate in an effective way. We can't communicate effectively to our partner when we're triggered, when we're in assumption, when we're in blame, when we're in anxiety, when we're in overwhelm, fear, it's not going to go well. So shut your trap until you've integrated first within yourself so that you could be present. So first I did that and got him into a better place. And he reported that he felt calmer and more confident, which means on a scientific level, he's coherent. You can't think your way into coherence. You can only feel your way into heart open coherence, where you trust yourself because you can hear your intuition and the best of your brain turns on because you're coherent. You feel your way there. And most of us, as soon as that nasty feeling comes up, we're like, hell no. And we just spin. And then we push each other away because we're pushing ourselves away, right? So we did that first. And then I taught him some communication techniques that we teach in our Heartmates program, heartmates.app, for singles and for couples. We do conscious connection calls every single week. to teach you how to be able to have these meaningful, deep, vulnerable, brave, awesomely, intimately connected conversations. So we went through how he could speak in a way that she could hear, that would lower defenses and open the heart, and then to speak from his heart and ask for permission, like, is now a good time? Can we talk about something that's really on my heart? And then end the communication with not an attack but an invitation. And as soon as that happened, then she, sitting there on the call as well, was like, oh, that's why you were pulling away all weekend. And then she went into her stuff because she had made it mean that she wasn't enough, or she wasn't doing enough, or she made it mean all these things. So neither of them spoke up in the moment about what was going on. And that probably in the past led to the affairs. But now they're doing the work. And I'm teaching each of them how to integrate their own fears in the moment. And what we discovered when we spoke with her was that she's so mad at herself for being insecure. She's so mad at herself for overreacting. She's so mad at herself that she's not good enough, that she distanced herself from herself, criticizing herself, pushing away her feelings, and eating to try to stuff that longing, that hunger for connection with herself. So I took her through a process on the call. She got back centered within herself. And I reminded her that that's a practice. It's not like we all wake up every morning loving ourselves, right? We have to work at this. This is a practice to forgive and listen and slow down and be brave and sit in the fire. So she did. And then she was in her better place, her presence. And then we practiced the exact same communication back to him. And by the end, they embraced, like their bodies melted into one another. Tears were shed. Everyone else on the call was like, we were a mess, inspired mess. And they really showed us what we all need to learn is how to take ownership without judgment, feel the feels, integrate that back into presence with an open heart, be brave, learn how to effectively communicate. And by the end of it, they'd grown closer. So long story short, what's the question? What are the do's and don'ts of surviving an affair? You don't survive it. You choose to thrive. You get help. You learn what was the root cause of it in the first place, which is not blaming the other. It's taking responsibility for ourselves, right? Healing those, processing those, and then practicing in the moment how to be brave and communicate and grow closer over time. We had a retreat in Arizona that they came to as well. And again, they were so brave and such an inspiration to others. So know that not only will you survive this affair, you can thrive and you can be an inspiration to others. The very worst can bring out the very best in you, your marriage, and your family. So give us a call. I'd love to support you. It is just the most beautiful gift because we're all human. We all make mistakes. And if we're willing to grow, we can become our best selves. And then doing that in partnership, it's not half and half equals one, or even 1 and 1 equals 2. A whole person, not a perfect person, but a whole person who keeps owning their stuff and growing and evolving over time, who's always willing to be a student of life and evolve. 1 and 1 is infinity, because it's not just for you. It's not just for each other. It's not just for your family. It's for humanity. It's for consciousness itself. And so that's what we're about. We'd love to support you. AlanaPratt.com/connect is how we first connect to see if we can support you, if we're a good fit. We provide an incredibly valuable call showing you what your intimacy blind spot is, because I can't see mine. I doubt you can see yours. None of us can see ours. But my goodness, when you finally go, oh, that's what's going on, then we actually have a path to integrate and heal those repeating patterns so they don't need to happen again, and so that you can be stronger than ever within yourself, with your connection with your body, your sexuality, your connection spiritually with the divine, your connection with your money, your finances, your vocation, your purpose, and your romantic and sexual connection intimately with your partner. You deserve this, and it's totally possible. So give us a call. All my love.